Welcome, everyone, to Exploring the Mystical Side of Life. This is Michelle Aubin, and I'm here with Linda Lang. Hello, Linda.
Hello, Michelle. Hello, everyone. It's another beautiful, beautiful day, and I am happy to be here.
I'm happy to be here, too. We always have so much fun. And so, Linda, you had mentioned to me before we hit the record button, there was something you wanted to share with everyone this week.
Yeah, I know we've talked about dreams before, but I like to revisit that topic because I had the most amazing dream, and it gave me such incredible messages.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they never get boring. I love hearing about dreams, too. So, what was it?
Well, I'm not going to tell the whole dream because it's one of those great big long, almost movie-like dreams. But I'll share the messages that came through because I think they're actually really valuable for everyone, really. So in the dream, one of the messages that came through was that I was managing my life, my work life, my business, and what I needed to do was to step aside, take a break, a little 15-minute break, go inside. And when I did that in my dream, I was shown the alignment of the three selves: the higher self, the lower self, or the unconscious, and the conscious, that all the things would be aligned. And in the dream, I was also told that that's a way to really become a powerful manifester, that when all three of yourselves are aligned, your manifestation is aligned and you just go bing, 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 and things are easy. So it just really reminded me of our Plark conversation.
And so it sounds like an amazing dream. So somehow you got the message of aligning three parts of yourself, and that you didn't have to manage your life, you just had to align.
Well, I actually didn't even have to align. All I had to do was to take a break from
Okay.
managing and just kind of cocoon inside myself for a few minutes, and it would automatically be aligned.
It's amazing.
It was a really incredible dream.
It sounds like wisdom for everyone.
Exactly. That's why I wanted to share it. It's a bigger dream. There were all kinds of other things in that dream as well, but that particular message really stood out immediately. I knew what it meant. I didn't have to interpret it. It was just phenomenal. And it's something I've been practicing since having that dream. And I have to tell you, I'm having so much more fun and so much more kind of connection. I feel like more of me instead of, putting on roles or masks.
And instead of managing,
Instead of managing.
you don't have to manage
Exactly.
anything.
Exactly.
It reminds me of somehow the image of surfing came to mind. And when someone is surfing, I've never surfed, but I imagine it is like focused relaxation. And when I imagine the person is able to do that, they that's when they can ride the wave. You can't manage the wave. You
Well,
can't
it's a
control
zone,
it.
right? That's a zone.
It's a zone, and you have to manage yourself in riding the wave. You can't manage the wave. You flow with it. I just think it's a great metaphor.
Yeah, I think that's a place we probably have all gone to, into the zone in one activity or other. And it's almost like you're one with whatever it is you're doing, and things really just flow.
And what would it be like instead of having one or two of those activities? if people have hobbies, usually those are the hobbies that bring them into that zone, or you know, adventures people have, people travel so they can get into that place of it, kind of relaxed excitement. What if everything was like that? Like, just what if?
What if?
What if? And I just like to ask that question, like, not is it possible, but what if it was, and what would that feel like? And practice that feeling.
I love asking questions like that, open-ended questions that you just kind of toss out to the universe, because it kind of opens a door for
Yeah.
that energy to kind of shift and come more into your life. So I think that's fantastic.
I also like to ask the question, how can I experience this? Fill in the blank, how can I experience more of this? And then let my brain do the figuring out for me, and then it'll show me something.
I've done that too, Michelle, and it's astounding
It's,
how it can shift things and your perception about
yeah,
things. Just
it's like a
incredible.
game. It's a game.
It's a game.
And then on that note, there was something I wanted to bring up. You mentioned about the energy of that. I came across something this week that was a message from Cryon. And if people are not familiar with Cryon, you can Google the name. Cryon is an entity that shares insightful messages with humanity through a channel called Lee Carroll, right? And Cryon was talking about this energy that's coming in to our galaxy, our planet, that is different from the old energy of struggle and kind of the thing we were habituated to. And the new energies, if we can release our addiction and how addictive it can be to the feeling of struggle. And as counterintuitive as that is, I went through that myself, where I persisted longer than I needed to in that place until I was able to let it go. But that the newer energy is easier, more flow, and that the people that can relax into that are going to have an easier time with this shift of energies.
I love Cryon. I really do. I've seen Cryon live in a small venue. And in that experience, the friend that went to the channeling with me left her scarf on the chair. So when it had finished and we'd left the room, we had to walk through all the people leaving the room. It's kind of like paddling upstream, except it was amazing because everybody had such clear energy. It
Oh,
was, we wouldn't have known that everyone had such a huge shift had we not kind of had to walk back through that energy to
oh, wow. So
retrieve her
you
scarf. So it was
saw,
amazing. Yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Yeah. I, I,
yeah.
lo- I,
It was wonderful.
I don't always have a chance to read the messages, but this week I read that message, and it was, I was just struck by that idea of being addicted to the struggle, and how painful that is, but then how it can be hard to let go sometimes. So if you're struggling to let go and have an easier time, you know, beating yourself up is not a helpful thing, but understanding that relaxing into the surf and letting it carry you instead of struggling with the wave is going to be easier. And all we have to do is let go of that control. It ties back to your dream. We don't have to manage it anymore. We can
Yeah.
take a break from managing our lives.
And just simply go inside and spend a few minutes in your heart space and connect with yourself and your spirit. It's so nurturing.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Just an incredible way to deal with everyday life, I think.
And if you don't know how to do it, if you're saying, well, how do I relax? Like, how do I go into my heart space? Ask the question of your inner self, how can I reach my heart space? That's all. That's kind of what I've been doing. Like anytime I wanted to do something and I was like, well, I don't know how to do that. Doesn't make sense. I would ask my inner self, show me how to do this. Show me how to reach my heart, or show me how to open my heart, or show me how to open my intuition, whatever my goal is at that time. And I'm still doing that. There's always a new adventure and there's always a new layer. And we have resources inside of us that will show us how to do it.
So I actually wouldn't see an issue with even asking your unconscious mind or that part of you that knows to show me what my heart space feels like so
Mm-hmm.
that you could actually like get into it instead of like just not even the how part, kind of just show me.
Oh, you're saying, show me what this feels like.
Show me how my heart space feels even, and then
That's great.
be right back in it.
Oh, that's great. That takes away the how. Yeah.
Thinking that there's something that we have to do or a process,
Right.
because it's really about stepping away from the process and the logical thinking and just kind of being.
And I'm recalling times when I've done this, years ago when I was struggling with some addictions, and my process was, okay, inner self, wiser self, I would admit I don't know how to do this, and I'm open to learning. So show me the next step. Oh, I hear your train in the background.
Yeah.
um, Show me the next step. I'm open to a new way, but show me in a way that is clear. Like, show me in a way, and my life would show me. Or either I would end up having a book fall into my hand, or an insight, try this, try that, and it kind of giving that part of myself instructions that I need you to spell it out for me. That's how I worked with it.
So I'm a little curious, Michelle.
Mhm.
Now that you know what your heart space feels like
Mhm.
and you know how to get there,
Mhm.
do you recall times in your youth, in your childhood perhaps, where you would go there without even like knowing? Do you know what I mean?
Without
Without
knowing.
knowing that's what you were doing or how you even did it. It just kind of automatically, because that's what's happened for me. And an example I could give you would be whenever as a child or young, maybe 8, 9, 10 years old, whenever we would go to the beach and I would just lay on the sand and I would just go into that, really
Yeah.
intimate place with myself that I did automatically. When I was younger than that, I would swing a lot.
Yeah.
We had an old rope swing in the backyard, and I would spend hours and hours just swinging and staring at the clouds while
Yeah.
I was swinging, and I would just automatically go. It's like we already know that place. We know there's a part of us that knows how to get there, but as we've grown up in our more adult self, we've maybe forgotten.
Well, my own journey is that, yes, I did have times like that in childhood. I do remember, but then starting in maybe 9 or 10, I started to build armor around my heart. And I'm aware of that. I can look back and remember layers of it, layers. And by the time I got to be an adult, I was pretty armored. And I was a spiritual seeker, reading books and learning kind of intellectually about this process. But I didn't really start doing it until about 10 years ago, like really feeling it and opening. And so now I'm in a place where I can be in my heart most of the time. It's a focus, but I had to do some healing work around the armor around my heart.
Yeah.
And so maybe, I don't know if you had to do that, but there may be people listening or watching us who might not have such an easy time easing into that place at first. And for me, there was a lot that I had to do, emotional, I don't want to call it work, but emotional processes of releasing and forgiving myself and a lot of things. And becoming unarmored and feeling safe in the universe doing it. So it wasn't like, oh, just slip into this.
Well,
I don't want to
fantastic.
set it up for anyone who might be having armor issues, that if you can't slip into it, that's okay. You can still go through things that will help you break that armor.
Because it is there inside you. I'd have to say for myself, that was kind of my go-to place. So it was easy for me to get to.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't necessarily mean my environment or my external world was always easy. It's just, different people dealing with it different ways.
Yeah, and maybe you didn't armor up,
Yeah.
so you could slip into it easier, and that's
Maybe.
great. Like, that's beautiful.
And I think it's fantastic that you found your way back.
Well, my theory about all of it is that when we go through difficult things, and when, like, even if you are someone who is armored to the brink and feeling like you're never going to break free, I feel like there's a natural process that forces us. The more armored I got, the more painful life became. This is the irony, right? Anything that is labeled a struggle or painful can actually be a powerful catalyst. So the armoring and the wounding and the feeling like a wounded victim and all that stuff I went through is the very thing that helped me break through, because it became so painful. There is a point where your armor is going to get so heavy and so annoying that you're just going to say, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. That's the point I got to. I was aware of my struggle, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm willing, like, break me apart, whatever that means, so I can be free of the struggle. And if anyone's in that place of struggle, go into that, go into that place. It's all perfect, and it not to minimize the pain. I'm not saying that to minimize the pain, but your pain will help you break free.
There's really wisdom in all of our experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of it like, I used to feel like the way I imagined a little egg is floating in the shell, and that's their universe, and they think it's perfect. They have everything they need until they get bigger and they start bumping against their shell, but they don't really know why. It doesn't happen all the time, but then they get bigger and they grow, which is a natural process, and then suddenly the egg is just too small, and they are like, I have to break out of this shell. I don't even know what this is. There's no room. And then that little chick starts pecking away at that shell, and they break free. They do whatever it takes, and it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of focus, and they do it. I used to have that image all the time when I was in this sort of healing phase of like, I can't take it anymore. And I laugh now, but I'll be like, I can't take it anymore. Peck, peck, peck. I'm, like, I'll do what it takes.
Yeah.
Peck, peck, peck.
I'd say the same about my challenging times. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing that life just has a way of getting you where you need to be.
If you look at it that way, yes, it's amazing. Yeah. Any challenge can be a springboard. Yeah.
And definitely transformational, right?
Yeah. And I went through that transformation. You went through your transformation. I don't assume life is ever going to be easy. Like, I'm not sitting here thinking there won't be challenges, because there will. Life is full of challenges, but the armoring and the woundedness, like when we're able to shed that piece, we have more energy for the other things in life that come our way.
And I think we're also better able to handle it. We're
Yeah.
more resilient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also want to say that there's no benefit to judging wherever anyone is in this process.
Yeah.
And to say, well, I feel stuck, so I'm going to judge myself. That doesn't serve anything. Just be aware of where your pain is and what it's telling you that it wants from you, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain. What is your pain telling you? What's the message? What's the It is telling you something. It is telling you something. That's, you know, it's not for no, it's not that there's no purpose to pain, right?
That's physical pain, emotional pain,
Yeah.
any kind of pain.
Yeah. 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 I mean, there's so much to say about that, but I think
That's another topic.
the
Correct.
purpose of pain, we can dive into that another time. And it's rich. It's a rich topic. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, we would love to hear your comments, questions, thoughts, and feel free to share below, and share this episode with anyone you think might benefit from hearing it. And we've enjoyed sharing this with you.
Perfect. So bye for now, everyone.
Bye for now.